minute, man. My wing's broken.
Let's go, boys!
We never give up. We never give up. This is still on.
Can you believe it? Can you believe it? God, it's broken! He's too quick for me. Full way, boys.
It's not over yet.
Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 22 for the final time here on the channel, and we're here for the series finale in Abu Dhabi. We come into this race after 15 difficult races, 2 sprint races, possibly even 3 sprint races, tied on points with our teammate Lando Norris. So for the final time we will be going head to head with him to see which one of us will come out of this a world champion. So don't forget to like this video, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell as well. And don't forget to stick around for tomorrow because we'll have some F1 23 content out. At least that's the hope anyway. And now we'll get on to the final starting grid of F1 22 and the season. And it's going like this. We'll be on pole position, just about ahead of Max Verstappen, who will start alongside us on the front row. Then further down the order, we have Fernando Alonso and Oscar Piastri all the way up in 4th. Then Lando Norris, our teammate, and Robert Schwartzman. Behind them, Carlos Sainz and Esteban Ocon, Théo Pourchaire and Charles Leclerc. George Russell and Sergio Perez, Kevin Magnussen and Lance Stroll. Then Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda, Liam Lawson and Dan Ticktum. On the penultimate row, it's Zhou Guanyu and Alex Albon, and as usual, it's Mick Schumacher and Nicholas Latifi. He did, of course, pick up a penalty as well, but it's not really affected his starting position too much. So we're off to a good start here, a few places ahead of Lando Norris, and a few interesting names in the top 10 who we've not seen there for quite some time, if at all. And there is a quick look at that Drivers' Championship as well. 298 points for each of us as we go into this race. But who will prevail? Will we become the double world champion, or will Lando Norris steal it away from us at the final moment? So then it all comes down to this, the last race of the season. And the lights go out and we're away here in Abu Dhabi. And it's a good start for Max Verstappen, who's already getting alongside and in front of us there as we go into turn 1. Both McLarens making a move on us as well before we even reach the first corner. But we managed to hold them at bay just about. And Robert Schwartzman, who started 6th, has made his way up into 3rd after an incredible start. Oscar Piastri not exactly lighting up the leaderboard right now. He's dropped all the way back to presumably 6th place behind Lando Norris. We've got a yellow flag there for Sector 1. And I think there's a car pulled off to the side of the road. Let's have a look at what happened to Alonso here into turn 1. Tries to go around the outside, has to back out a bit, then tries it. Possibly gets some damage there, we're not sure. And then loses out to his teammate Robert Schwartzman, who takes that 3rd position away. This is Lance Stroll on the run down towards the hairpin, following the Haas, who moves aside and locks up. Oh, and that's a big hit there for Lance Stroll on Kevin Magnussen. And as a result, he's decided that he's had enough and he's going to retire the car. We rejoin on lap 2. Fernando Alonso defending from Lando Norris. There we are, just a few places up the road. Max Verstappen with a 2-second lead after the first lap. But there's contact into the hairpin there between Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris. And Norris seems to have gotten ahead as they come down towards the chicane. We used to be the 2nd chicane, now just the only chicane from what I can gather as we go through. And there's an end plate missing from Lando Norris's front wing. There's a better shot it is as they go through the chicane there. Fernando Alonso still alongside. The battle continues, but the championship may already be over. Lando Norris gets ahead there into the next hairpin. And Fernando Alonso, they've made contact there. A piece has come off of Fernando Alonso's wing as well. Darting across the track as they battled. Somehow Oscar Piastri didn't pick it up and give himself a puncture, but he's there waiting, ready to strike, and Fernando Alonso is really slowing everyone down here as the damage begins to take effect, and that's it. Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris have come into the pit lane. That could be the end of the championship right there. That was Norris. Possibly a small lockup. We've seen him make quite a lot recently and just go straight into the side of the McLaren. And then this was Alonso coming down towards this hairpin. Yep, there it is. Moves a little bit too close to the floor of Lando Norris and subsequently loses an end plate. We rejoin on lap 3 because now we got Robert Schwartzman in the mirrors. And, well, look at that. Oscar Piastri and Théo Pourchaire have reclaimed 4th and 5th after their poor starts. And somehow that Haas is leading away. I'm not entirely sure what happened there, but throughout the closing stages of this season, the Haas has been looking a bit stronger. In fact, I believe, actually, for performance, is better than the Mercedes right now, as Robert Schwartzman fails to pull off a move there after the first 2 DRS zones, but he has plenty of opportunity to strike again a bit later on. On board with Sergio Perez now on lap 3. And sounds like he's lost power. He's overtaken by an AlphaTauri and two Audis there, and pulls off to the side of the road, becoming our second retirement for the Grand Prix. And now we've got Kevin Magnussen all the way back in last. Potentially some contact between him and another car as well as we come swooping round here. Robert Schwartzman still failed to overtake us through the DRS zones and follows us round through the hotel section now towards the pit lane. Are we going to see a stop soon for one of us? I would have thought so. Yeah, there we are. We're going in. Already 5 laps in. A welcome sight will be the 35% distance races tomorrow as this video is released. Purely just to spice up these strategies, as I just saw, I think some of the Haas garage just get snapped out of existence there. I might have to go back and double check that one, but new mediums are on, and we are away for the final pit stop of F1 22, and hoping for some more interesting ones coming up tomorrow. This is Norris chasing down our former teammate Théo Pourchaire. Oscar Piastri still with him behind, holding off the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Fernando Alonso dropping away quite substantially at the moment, though, as Norris goes to the move around the outside of Pourchaire, but Pourchaire's fighting it. Lando has the inside, but now Pourchaire is potentially going to get DRS here because of that mistake from Norris. Yes, he does. Norris getting ahead at the DRS line, and it's cost him. Théo Pourchaire up the inside into the hairpin. How's he going to do? He's not going to defend it for the BMW, and Lando Norris, by some miracle, is able to get past, but as you can see, is quite far back. That is 8 seconds back, so he's made up quite a good amount of time, but not really enough here to make a massive difference as we come through, overtaking some cars in the pit lane and chasing down Mick Schumacher, who will of course won't be featuring in F1 23 unless he's pulled out of retirement / out of his reserve role. Into the hairpin we go, and for the final time, one of the easiest overtakes in the season so far. DRS open. Schumacher defends for some reason, but we're easily past him. All that stands between us and Max Verstappen now is Nicholas Latifi, who'll be coming into the pit lane, presumably at the end of this lap. And we rejoined with 2 laps to go. 3 laps to go even. Can we catch Verstappen? This is our first chance at getting DRS here, and we're gaining very, very gradually on the Red Bull. Into the chicane we go. We're going to close up nice and tight to the back of him now, but can we get a good exit here and try and take the win? If we're going to win the championship, we may as well win the race as well. Why not? DRS open. But Verstappen is still quite quick in a straight line. Look how much ERS we've got left. We've really drained the reserves trying to catch up to the back of him. And we're going to need a bit more in order to get past as well. 3 tenths back now, 4 tenths after that slide. It's not happening. We rejoin. Same place on the end of lap 14. We are so close now to the back of Max Verstappen. It's just not happening right now, though. That is the issue. Robert Schwartzman just hanging on, 10 seconds back there, but is ahead of Lando Norris. Not that that matters at this point. All we have to do is finish ahead of Norris. We don't even have to guarantee the fastest lap. And as we come around the final corner, final lap of F1 22, here we go, chasing down Max Verstappen for the win here in the season finale. We've seen Verstappen do this before in 2020, picking up the final win of the season. Can he do it again here in Abu Dhabi? He's got 1 DRS zone coming up and then a second to try and defend from us. He's half a second ahead as we come around the hairpin for the final time. On the exit we go. 4 tenths is the gap. We've been further back and closed up quite nicely, but can we close up this time? It'll be ERS all the way. Sparks flying from the Red Bull. Within 2 tenths now as we come into the chicane, but it all comes down to the exit here. Can we get a good exit? He's got the gap up to 4 tenths again. This isn't good. DRS is open. ERS is deployed as we come down towards the hairpin now. Verstappen still very much in control as we come through here. 2.5 tenths now, 3 tenths. We're just not closing up on him. The Red Bull may have managed to outdo us here in Abu Dhabi as we come into the hotel section for the final goodbye of F1 22. Verstappen leads into the final 2 corners. We're not going to get it. Look at that. We're already running wide all over the place there, trying to come through into the victory, but it's across the line. We celebrate for winning the championship by crashing into the pit wall and showering the engineers on the garages in carbon fiber. Lando Norris gets the last laugh though, picking up driver of the day here in Abu Dhabi, and there we have it. We are now 2-time world champion. We picked up the constructors for what I believe is the first time ever. And look at that, even Robert Schwartzman is on the podium. We haven't seen that for some time, and he has somehow disappeared. Verstappen becomes the only man on the grid to have beaten the BMW team not once, but twice. No other car has managed to top the podium at all this season. But let's get on with these final results. And here we are with the final race results. Max Verstappen picked up the win, but we did get the fastest lap in second, followed by Robert Schwartzman. Off the podium, we had Lando Norris, Carlos Sainz, Teo Pourchaire, George Russell, Charles Leclerc, Esteban Ocon, and Fernando Alonso. So where does this put us in the Drivers' Championship? Well, it's a win for us on 317 points. Behind us, Lando Norris just 7 points behind. Then we had Max Verstappen, Charles Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, Carlos Sainz. Robert Schwartzman takes 7th away from Sergio Perez. George Russell and Lance Stroll make up the top 10. And further down the order, we have Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon, Liam Lawson, Kevin Magnussen, Teo Pourchaire becomes a point scorer, Yuki Tsunoda, and finally Alex Albon, followed by Oscar Piastri, Nicolas Latifi, Zhou Guanyu, Mick Schumacher, and Dan Ticktum. And then over to the constructors, no changes here, but the order is BMW, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, Alpine, Ford AlphaTauri, Haas Williams, Audi, and Aston Martin. And that is all for F1 22. We'll catch you tomorrow for F1 23.